Hey there, my name is Mitch and welcome back to another video. Today we're in Minecraft and we're actually going to be celebrating the whole 1.9 release in 2 days. That means on Monday, the 29th of February. I actually can't wait. I've been playing this this pre-release of 1.9 quite a bit. And I'm going to go over with you guys some of the cool things that I've discovered you can do with offhanding and dual wielding weapons and tools and stuff like that to make sure that you guys don't jump in blind into the new game. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one I've got here is basically a bow and a knockback sword. The idea behind this is that it'll be a sort of ranged combat assistant. So if we go ahead and put the bow in our offhand slot and the sword in our normal slot, we'll have this sort of setup where we can right click to shoot the arrow. The sword will kind of go away for a second, but then we can keep stabbing people with the sword. And the idea behind this is that when someone gets too close, you knock them back with the knockback sword and shoot them down with the bow from a ranged distance. So that makes it so you can make sure that your enemies are always at a good distance. And we're here. We got some pigmen here. Let's go ahead and shoot at them. Get them aggro. And we can knock them back and just make sure that we, keep our distance from these guys. We don't want them to come too close. It's definitely mainly for PvE and fighting monsters. I don't think it's going to be too effective in a PvP setting. But, as you can see, I'm kind of a noob. There we go. And then they're dead. I probably could have gotten out there with a bit more health. But again, I didn't have any armor or anything. So, yeah. Alright, so moving on, we got our second one here, which is a flint and steel and a sword, or any kind of weapon, really. And the idea behind this is that it's a good substitute for your fire aspect swords, because if you don't have enchantments yet, or enchantments, sorry, not enchantings. If you don't have enchantments yet, then it's pretty good to have some way to set your enemies on fire here. Let's go ahead and go up to one of these spiders, because I think pigmen don't get affected by fire. Hang on. So yeah, you whack them, and then you put this in your offhand slot, so you can just set them on fire and keep whacking them to death until they die. It's pretty helpful, and I think this is actually going to be quite a good mechanic in PvP as well, in a PvP setting, because setting your enemy on fire and then just whacking them, it's pretty good to be able to do both of those things at the same time. All right, so moving on to our next one, we got snowballs and an axe. Now, you could use any weapon here. It doesn't have to be an axe, but I personally think that an axe is definitely the way to go here. The only problem with an axe as a weapon is that it's slow. So it does a lot more damage than an actual sword will. So you might think that it's actually stronger, but it's a lot slower with its recharge to get its full damage potential. So you need some way to make sure that the enemies don't get you in this, in this swinging time that it takes you, because it is quite long. And so the idea is that if you have some snowballs in your offhand slot, you can knock them back. So we're going to go ahead and spawn some of these guys. We're going to attack one of them. And so while this is recharging, we can go ahead and knock them back. Of course, I don't have any armor whatsoever, so it's not completely easy. But as you can see, the axe is a lot more effective because of just how much stronger it is. So if you can use an axe, it is better. So if you feel like using snowballs, go ahead. It does take snowballs, of course, so that's kind of annoying. But otherwise, it's pretty cool. All right, for our next one here, we actually got the pretty generic sword and shield here. You've probably already seen this. If you knew anything about the fact that we were going to have two hands, you probably knew about the offhand slot having a shield. So the shield basically replaces the sword block from 1.8 and earlier. And it's actually pretty cool. You can knock back enemies with it too. It's really nice. So if you just hold it up, you'll take reduced damage, as you can see. And sometimes you'll knock them back as well. It's pretty cool. It definitely helps. I can imagine this being pretty big in PvP, and I do recommend having this in a survival solo series, just because skeletons have gotten so much stronger, and I honestly think that the shield is the easiest way to get rid of those guys. Alright, for our next one, we got something really cool here, which is golden carrots and an iron sword. Now, you guys might know, or you might not know, but the saturation has been changed, and eating has been changed. So if I eat and I have full saturation, you'll see my hearts go up extremely fast. That has been changed to the point where if you have anything above 0 saturation, so anything that gives you good saturation in the game, for example, bread I think gives you good ones, meat, but things like apples don't give you very good saturation, or raw meat don't give you any saturation at all, I think. And the idea behind that is that if you get golden carrots, which are the #1 most saturated item in the game, you're going to get yourself a nice heal whenever you eat up, which is really, really cool, and it allows you to heal up pretty quickly in fights as if you had a regen potion. And, you know, it gives a use to golden carrots, which is always nice to have, honestly, which we really didn't have before. I mean, golden carrots, other than for basic potions, I mean, it didn't really have any use at all. And look at that. I just heal back up once I eat, and I'm all good. It's really, really nice to have. It's very safe. You can also replace it with just a normal food if you want, but I prefer golden carrots, especially because, you know, it's saturation and whatnot. Alright, so next up we got an Ender Pearl and Sword combo, or Ender Pearl and Weapon combo here. And the idea here is that you have, you know, you got your normal sword, and we're going to go ahead and spawn some of these bad boys over here. There we go. And then we start whacking them, and we're like, oh god, no. Oh no, not a baby pig zombie. I don't want this. I don't want this crap. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Get me out of here. And you're just gone. I mean, you can even use this to sort of confuse your enemies. I'm like, oh, nope, I'm over here. I'm over here. Come at me. Come at me. Come on, get over here. Nope, I'm over there. I'm all the way over here. Come on. You're going to just really use it to confuse your enemies, especially if they're players. I can imagine this being pretty fun. But you definitely got to be careful when using this because, of course, Ender Pearls do let you take a little bit of damage. So make sure you don't kill yourself just by abusing them too much. Next up, we got one that isn't actually combat related. This is probably my favorite one out of all of them, honestly. Oh, let's quickly go make it daytime. This one's really cool. You basically put a pickaxe in one hand, and in your offhand, you go ahead and place torches. So this is what I actually tried out just the other day, and basically what you do is you go mining, and you place torches with your right hand while you're mining. So I actually set up a little, you know, kind of fake mine here. I don't know how an Enderman got in there, but we're going to completely ignore that guy. And so, you know, you place down your torches, and you just go mining, and it just feels so right, you know, being able to place a torch and break the ores. Get out of here, Enderman. No one likes you. Oh, these guys always ruin my day. You know what? I'm trapping you in there. I'm trapping you in there. Stay down there. But yeah, the idea is just that you can mine and place torches very, very efficiently. It's definitely very fun, and oh, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, it's definitely effective, and I do recommend it for anyone who goes caving. Alright, next up is one that I find really cool, but I can't actually say that I found this out myself, but I can't remember who told me about this. The idea is basically that you have stones in one hand and ladders in the other. As far as I know, it doesn't matter which is which, and you just go ahead and go up to, you know, you want to go up there maybe? Let's go up to that purple block. All you gotta do is hold right click, and you just go up. It's so cool. You just build an automatic ladder all the way to the top. It's so cool, and I can imagine this being so strong for nether travel or traveling in amplified biomes and stuff like that. It's definitely really, really cool and a really, really nice addition, and definitely a good tip to keep in mind. Alrighty, so our next one here has to do with hay bales and swords, and I figured out this one myself. It's pretty cool. Basically, if you get hay bales, you can also do this with water, but water is just annoying, and you have to pick it back up, and you can only carry one in one slot, and that's annoying. But if you do this with hay bales, you know, you can always carry around a stack, and the idea here is that hay bales, if you put them in your offhand slot, can be used to reduce fall damage, because recently in the game, they added a function so that if you land on a hay bale, you take a lot less fall damage, which is really, really cool. So we're going to go ahead and jump off without doing anything and just see how much damage we take. Ouch! That's 8 hearts of damage. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. But now, if we go ahead and place down a hay bale right under us when we land, you'll see that it's actually greatly reduced. Let's get back up to the top here, and you're going to see, go ahead and just hold right click. Look at that! From 8 hearts of damage to 2 or 2.5. I couldn't really see. But that's insane. And you can really use this to like travel through the nether or anything like that. It's definitely going to be really, really useful in survival mode. Because, you know, these are hay bales. They take practically nothing to make. Alright, so for our final 2 things, we've got an axe. I didn't actually put one in the chest. Whoops, we're going to take these off here. We got an axe and a sword. Now, this is basically the counter to the shield setup. The issue is I don't actually have another person to try this out on who could be holding a shield, but just imagine that someone is in front of me holding a shield. If you guys already heard anything about shields, is that they can get shut down when hit with an axe. So if you hit it with an axe, especially if you're hitting it while sprinting, there's a very, very high chance that it will actually disable the shield and just make it like not, you can't block with it for a second. So if someone's using a shield and basically using their right hand completely for that, or their offhand completely for shield, what you can do is you can actually have an axe and a sword and kind of switch between them using the F key and fight like that. So, someone's running at you with a shield, you bash them once with this, you switch weapons, and you take out your sword and do some damage that way. Their shield is back up. You know what? Bash it down again and do it all again and over and over and over until they're dead. I think it's going to be a very, very big PvP element. This isn't very useful against PvE, also against enemies, but it is definitely really cool in a PvP setting. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for me today. That was my top 10 things you can do with dual wielding in 1.9. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below and consider subscribing to my channel because I'm going to be bringing a lot of nice 1.9 stuff. I'm actually planning on doing a 1.9 vanilla series when the actual update comes out. So hope to see you then, and bye!